Hey y'all, welcome back. You all know what to do. Continue to follow, like, and subscribe for my everyday random content. So I know that I promised everybody a video on Mercedes Mone and my thoughts on her having various belts. But first, let's get into some housekeeping because the Ravens play the Steelers in the wild card. And if you don't know, I'm obviously from Baltimore. So therefore, I'm a Ravens fan. I got my Lamar jersey on. You know, I got my friendship bracelets. We have Zay, Ravens flock, and of course MV3, because you know Lamar has to win it again. And I understand people are going to be like, Josh Allen, blah, blah, blah. Listen. When Lamar wins this wild card, y'all are going to see his stats pop. And it's going to be even more clear that he deserves the MV3. Like, you can't deny Lamar's talent. I hope and pray that we move forward. The Steelers, they have not been playing great. However, we all know that, like, the playoffs, none of that shit matters. Like, you become a whole new beast in the wild card. So again, we're praying that my boys in purple can bring it through. So yeah, had a rep today. Mercedes Mone. I know I owed y'all a video on that. I was kind of waiting to see if they were going to bring her out on Dynamite, and they didn't. And I thought about it. She has been traveling a lot. I understand, like, Willow and everyone else who was there last night, or over in Japan was there last night. But I know Mercedes Mone, like, she's probably tired. She needed a rest. It makes sense. So my thoughts on Mercedes Mone having, 4 belts? Why? So my next question is, in her reign at AEW, and I put this on my Instagram story, and I got some very interesting comments, because y'all all seem to agree with me. Who has Mercedes Mone put over since she's been on this AEW run? Don't worry, I'll give y'all a few seconds. No one. We haven't argued for Willow, kind of, because I agree. Shout out to Brian H. Waters. He brought up Willow, and I was like, Willow was over before Mone. And he kind of reminded me that, like, Willow is very, very niche. Either you know about Willow and you know her status and you love her, or you literally don't. So it did bring more eyes to Willow, but necessarily I can argue that it didn't get her over. All of her beefs, her feuds, her matches are good, but she beats everybody super clean, and then they move on to the next thing. Like, where does Willow, where does Rio, where does Britt Baker, that's an anomaly, I can't talk about that match, where does everyone go from their feud with Mone? How does she better the division when she's beating everyone clean, and we're not bringing necessarily new eyes, and we're not putting people over? That is my issue, essentially. Like, I understand that you're supposed to put your belts on stars because you want them to be seen. I totally get it. But with Mone always saying in her interviews that she has creative control and she's involved in decision making, like, where's this going? Like, at some point, we gotta start dropping belts. I know I mentioned in a previous video that I assumed that she was gonna drop these belts to Mina, but, like, she didn't. So, like, I'm just super confused as to where AEW and NJPW, honestly, and whatever other company belt she has, like, where is this going? What does, like, because also it's going to be weird that one day she's going to drop, like, 4 belts. And then what? And, like, why is she still hanging out in the mid card? At some point, did she have to go for the big girl title and go for, like, the main title? Like, I don't understand the booking of it all, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I think part of it, too, is her personality and her character very much blend. So it rubs people the wrong way when she is overly arrogant. She does these things. And I'm actually going to pause right here as well, because let me say, Mercedes Mone is everything she says she is. She is a great wrestler. She is on top of her division. She pushes folks when she wrestles them. Like, all her matches, minus Britt Baker, look really good. I cannot deny it. I will not deny her talent. Like, that's not what I'm saying here. My question is, where do we go from here? That is my issue. That is my concern. Like, I'm not this big Mercedes hater like everyone tries to say that I am. Shout out to Levante. I just want to know, like, where are we going with this? Like, she's got everybody's belts. She's beating everybody clean, and she's running around arrogant. Like, who is going to humble her to? Like, at one point, who's going to take the belt? I hope it's Statlander. I hope that's where that's going, because she mentioned, like, Stat is now on her, like, Mount Rushmore of great wrestlers, and she well deserved. They had a really good match, and then Stat lost. So if the plan is to put Stat in his shoes, sure, but that is yet to be determined. Because didn't Stat win last night to go into the gauntlet match with the best odds? And then the gauntlet match winner, in theory, goes for the big girl title. So I'm confused. Because in theory, you would want Toni Storm to win that. Y'all know I love my Toni. See all of my shorts are all about Toni Storm. You would want Toni Storm to go into the Australia pay-per-view and get the strap back from Mariah May. So then again, so does Stat go into this match knowing she's losing, but then she's going to go for the TBS title with Monet? Like, I have so many questions, and I'm really trying to be fair. Like, again, I'm not this big hater like everyone thinks I am. Like, I do love Monet. I do love Sasha. Y'all know I love Sasha, but like, I want to see where this goes. So my other thoughts, because, got a list. I did watch Dynamite last night, and let's talk about Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Will Ospreay, right? Will Ospreay, after the match, also, the match was really, really good. So after that match, Ospreay hops on the mic and says, in a nutshell, again, it's on my shorts, so if you want to see the exact wording, go over there. And he essentially made a comment regarding, like, hey, both of y'all gave me some bomb matches. Y'all don't need to be in a stable. Y'all don't need a leader. So obviously, we're prepping for Malakai Black to leave, right? Because we haven't seen Malakai Black in, like, forever. So where is this going? I think the inevitable is finally happening. I think that his contract is up soon, if not already up, and he's going to go back to WWE. Like, we all know that he was one of Triple H's boys, and I would love to see him back in WWE. Obviously, he'd be back traveling with his wife, Zelina. It just makes sense. And again, AEW did nothing with him. So, like, everyone's like, it's a big loss for AEW to lose him. You're not wrong. But when they had him, what did they do with him? So, like, I hope that maybe we'll see him in the Rumble. Again, I don't know the timing of his contract. That could be a stretch. He could not be out of his contract until, like, June, July, for all I know. I don't follow contracts like that because I'm a fan that likes surprises, right? I like when you're watching the Rumble and things don't leak. I like seeing the countdown and hearing music and, like, popping. Like, I've always mentioned, like, I like fans. So, like, I have a hate-love relationship with dirt sheets in general. So hopefully I can try to avoid them between now and the Rumble. I doubt it because dirt sheets be dirt sheeting. But we'll see. Speaking of the Rumble, Charlotte girl, where you at? Where you at? I've been waiting. I have, like, a whole reel ready to go when she pops. And at this point, it has to be the Rumble, right? Like, Charlotte didn't pop up at the Raw show, the SmackDown show. She's gotta pop at the Rumble, right? Like, I miss the queen. Like, y'all know, like, obviously I have my love of Sasha, but, like, my second love is my girl Charlotte. Like, all day, every day. Also, I seen, speaking of this, let me show y'all this gift I got for Christmas. Shout out to my girls from Crossing Letters. Shout out to KB. KB got me this signed when they were at Russell K. Like, what? And then Reese got me this as well. Like, y'all, bring me back the Iconics immediately in WWE. Like, yes, the wrestling was okay. I'm not going to say it's good. I'm not going to say it's bad. I will say that Cassie Lee put on a banger with Asuka before she pretty much let her go. So I know the wrestling is there. But, like, the comedic timing of the Iconics was just literally insane. Like, they have great personalities. Like, I loved when essentially Carmella cashed in. Like, that's my favorite cash in ever. The Iconics popped up on SmackDown, beat up Charlotte Flair, and then they allowed Carmella to cash in. It was like freaking perfect. It was like a perfect main roster debut to me, because also, like, how people debut on the main roster is very important. And this was back in the day when, like, you were expecting call-ups to happen on the show after Mania. So again, like, bring me back the Iconics too. I don't really have any other people who I want to see in the Rumble. Jordynne Grace, I think that's obvious. I think we all know Jordynne Grace is going to come up. But again, like, I have people who I think I want in. But again, I'm going to wait for the surprises because I need it. It's also WWE switching up all women's belts, like, immediately. We have a new NXT Women's Champion, Julia. We have freaking Tiffy Time cashed in, and now we got Rhea back. Like, WWE says shake it up. Shake it up. And I love it. I love our champions. I am a very big Roxanne Perez fan. I hope to see her in the Rumble. I hope to see her staying up in the main roster when she comes up from the Rumble, because I also understand that, like, people are in the Rumble with appearances and they're not staying up. I think Roxanne has done everything that there is to do in NXT, so it is now her time to come up to the main roster. And, like, I hope it happens soon. I hope that it works out. I just look forward to that. I think that she does not get as much credit for her title reign because it's NXT. But if you look at her catalog of work in NXT, like, she was my personal wrestler, women's wrestler of the year last year. Like, I'm always here for Roxanne Perez. She can cut a promo. She's gorgeous. She can wrestle. Like, what more do you want? I would love to see her come back with Alexa Bliss. I would love to see her and Alexa Bliss in a program. Someone else I want to see in the Rumble. Hence, bring back Alexa Bliss. Bring back the Goddess. Like, I'm not mad at her character that she had with Bray Wyatt, but, like, my first introduction to Alexa Bliss when I came back to wrestling was her as the Goddess, and I miss it. I love it. Yeah. So those are my thoughts. Who do you want to see pop up in the Rumble? Let me know in the comments. And then also let me know if you think that Malakai Black is going to come back to WWE. And finally, let me know your thoughts on Mercedes Mone having 4 belts. Again, I'm not a Mercedes hater. I think she is everything she says she is, but where do we go from here? And how do we truly elevate the women's division like you claim you want to do? That is my take. That is my thing. As usual, guys, like, follow, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. And I will see you on the next video. Have a good one.